Welcome to another segment of Women in Ministry, WiM, and it is the Christian View. My name is Elder Roberta Morris, and on set with me today is a wonderful, wonderful woman, just full of joy, and such a pleasure to have you. Her name is Patricia Pendergast. She's a licensed practical nurse, and she comes in such distinction. As you know, this month is Nurse Appreciation Month, and so we have felt here at Women in Ministry, we wanted to give honor to a prized profession, one that God has claimed and that one that God moves through the healing that He has put and how you deliver healing to such patients, that we all need a nurse. So no matter who you are out there and you're a nurse, know that we appreciate you so much. And we're going to dedicate this whole month to nurse appreciation. So to your brothers, your fellow brothers and sisters operating and offering nursing to anyone in need, we want to personally say thank you so much, Pat.
Okay. Thank you.
Now a little bit about this wonderful woman. She has received such distinction, and it was one of the reasons why we wanted to highlight your life on the program. We understand that the worldwide leaders in healthcare have found you to be excellent in nursing, and you have received this distinction. And as the International Nurse Association recognizes Patricia Pendergast, LPN, as a worldwide leader in healthcare. Top licensed practical nurse in this region. Patricia, this is wonderful. And then it goes on to say, the above named individual has qualified for inclusion in the 2018 edition of Worldwide Leaders in Healthcare. It doesn't get much better than that,
No,
Patricia.
it doesn't.
So congratulations to
Thank you.
you. And having known you personally, every single thing that they recognize in you is real and true. And so let me share a little bit about Patricia. And Patricia, while we're doing this, I just want to encourage every nurse out there, male and female. You're doing a wonderful job. Keep it up. Keep it up. Let the Lord use you. Let Him use you. But before we get started, I want to say that you are one of many in your family in the healthcare profession.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah, so you have a whole family. So your family is blessed.
Yes.
I understand that you have people that answer emergencies and certainly nursing, and so it's a wonderful thing. We're going to get into your life and let you tell it a little bit about how you got started. But this is a wonderful letter from a woman named Sophie, or Sophia.
Sophie.
Sophie, okay. And she found it so necessary to write her feelings and how much she appreciates you. And we were so glad to receive it because, Patricia, when someone takes the time, they realize your wealth. They realize just your value. It means so much. Let me share a little bit about what Sophia has said about Patricia. She said, "My name is Sophia, and is much admired and in veneration, I am writing this letter on behalf of Patricia Pendergast, who has been my personal nurse due to a near fatal car accident I sustained 5.5 years ago. My accident left me quadriplegic, leaving me with no feelings from my shoulders down. As a result, I require around-the-clock care. Navigating through the home care process in finding the right people has been very challenging. While searching for home care assistance online, I came across an ad posted by Pat, whom I fondly refer to as Patty Cakes or Super Pat. The program I work through is self-directed and referred to as the Consumer-Directed Personal Assistance Program. This program allows for interviewing and hiring of staff, which is exhausting and somewhat disappointing based on my previous experiences. Yes, we can.
Attest to that.
Meeting Pat was a breath of fresh air and an immediate fit. Her people-person skills and passion for providing the best care possible sealed the deal. The resume provided at her interview was mere microcosm of the person she is. That's wonderful. There have been so many experiences over the last year and a half that testifies to the quality that Pat exhibits. My daily life depends on my staff showing up for their shift. In my ongoing experiences, it is more than common that my caregivers have been tardy. And that's real. That's real. But she goes on to say, I know as sure as I'm sitting here writing this testament that Pat will show up on time, every time. If there's an issue, I will always know in advance. Consistency and reliability is always there. My goodness. Nursing, as in other fields, has criteria both written and unwritten in order to obtain a license. Although a degree and/or certification is required, there are no written requirements for compassion, integrity, loyalty, trustworthy, and friendship, all of which Pat is. The clinical teaching of nurses discourages emotional involvement. Dealing one-on-one with someone daily on a long-term basis, you cannot help have an emotional stake in that relationship. There is no getting around that. She is living my life for me and helping me in every way she can for me to have my best life yet. There is sensitivity and thought in everything she does. It's obvious she listens. My day starts with a hot Patty McMuffin. I love it. Which bears no comparison. Okay. Okay, we're just going to say we're not going to mention any names, but you're right in there with the very best. And I mean no comparison. As a funny joke to start my day, she lends an ear and drives my tears when I'm sad. When she makes a due to my medical condition. Wow. I ran into problems that otherwise could have been handled in the emergency room.
Sure.
Fortunately, Super Pat has made herself available at any moment's notice when this problem arises. These are just a few of the many examples of the caliber of woman she is. And here's where I really got it, Pat. I'm going to share it with the audience. I believe that God directs our path in life. We attended the same high school and played instruments in the same orchestra and never knew each other. While we were there, a lot of common ground and a lot of same history. I believe nothing is coincidence. I believe everything is ordained by God. It is a true blessing to have the privilege of sharing parts of our life's journey and experiences with each other. Not only as my personal nurse, not only as a friend, but as a beautiful, caring human being. I've met and dealt with many, but Pat has made an indelible mark on my life. God bless you, she says. That says it all. I don't have to say another thing. But that's what nursing is all about. And she has summed it up in this letter. And Pat, I just want to say that she sees in you what God has put in you. And you don't selfishly hold it, but you give it out. Tell our audience how you got started in nursing.
When I was young, we moved to a neighborhood, all elderly. So I would shop for them, rake their leaves, shovel the sidewalk, whatever was needed. But I wound up becoming a car mechanic. After quite a few years of that, I got very sick. And because of that, I could not take the smell of the gas, the oil, etc. So I sat down and said, okay, where do I go from here? And just popped into my head, if I can't fix the cars, then I'll fix the people, because I have to fix something. And I think that was because of the experiences that I had as a child, that it gave me the compassion, and I realized that, dignity was a big thing to all of them. And it just kind of took off from there.
Well, it's obvious that you went full force. You knew where you wanted to go. Your feet were directed, and you allowed yourself to go with it. And many people have been blessed. For instance, I know Sophia is a quadriplegic.
Correct.
And so she relies on you totally, and others.
Right.
Let's just stop here for a moment, and let's just think, because she has alluded in this letter that you sparked something in her that gave her a dignity. I mean, imagine having all the use of your limbs and then suddenly it taken away. But God says that's not the end of it. And she alludes, and way back when, and we won't tell the audience how many years back in school that you go back. We'll leave that to their imagination. But it was then, did you realize that the Lord was preparing you? Because God knows all things. He was preparing you then for our dear Sophia. Did you realize that?
I believe there's a reason for everything. I believe that people cross paths in their lives. Maybe you might never know what the reason is. And it could be the smallest little thing, but there's a reason. And I just had a calling, and like I said, I look at them as my family,
yes,
my friends,
yes,
and I treat them how I want to be treated, number one, but how they want to be treated. Compassion, it goes a long way. A little touch, a little smile. A smile a day kind of makes the day go a little smoother. If you walk into a patient's room with a smile, usually that's good for them.
yes.
It helps to build the trust and what they need, everything that they need.
And that is scriptural. We love God first with all that we have, and then he says that we are to love each other.
I'm taking care of his angels. At one point they will be his angels, and I'm here to take care of them.
Well, we know she says her faith in God, and she is strong about that. She has faith. And so we have a promise, because the Word of God says, "For God so loved the world, that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth on him shall not perish, but have everlasting life." And that's John 3:16. And then it goes on to say, for he did not come into the world to condemn the world, but the world through him might be saved. And so we thank God that you're an example, a living, loving example of the Lord reaching out and ministering to one of his own. And so we do want to thank Sophia. Sophia, I do want to thank you personally, for saying just what you see in Patricia. And since I've known you, I see that it's very, very evident. And Patricia, what has Sophia, you coming into her life, what has it done for you personally?
I believe that every day, no matter what, you learn something. I've learned a lot from her. Believe it or not, I'm a little computer, have issues.
Okay.
She shows me the computer.
Okay.
She has, all kinds of gadgets.
Okay.
And she helps me with that. We reminisce. Because we went to the same school and grew up in the same neighborhood, we can sit down and, oh yeah, remember this and that. And I think it helps. Mm-hmm. It helps. It brings back memories, most of them good. Mm-hmm. And it keeps things alive.
Yes.
And that's what, living is.
That's what it's all about, mm-hmm. Isn't it? Sharing.
Oh, yes.
Okay. No one has everything, but together
we have it all.
We have it all. And that's what, and it's so true. I do want to thank Sophia for sharing this with you, because it says everything upon what we need to be doing. And when sharing with the viewing audience, it doesn't take a lot. It just takes willingness to give of yourself. And that's what I believe nursing is. A willingness to give of yourself to make life better for someone else. And that is wonderful. And so, in the time remaining, I would like for you to, first of all, let me just speak to Sophia. Sophia, I don't know if I'll ever meet you or many of the millions of people who need a nurse by their side. And that nurse, he or she, will minister God's love in some way, through compassion, through tactile, that's the touching, the loving, the verbal, using all of your senses. And underneath it, the competency of your skill. But you cannot train the things that God has put into us. And so to every nurse out here, it's been my honor to sit with Patricia, but I do want to say to you, I appreciate you. Firsthand, I've had a personal experience. I appreciate nurses, and that is for real. That is for real. Patricia, I know that nursing is your thing, and your thing is nursing. And Sophia has said it so well. In the time remaining, I want you to look into that camera and please encourage everyone out there who may be going through a trial, a personal trial. We have about a minute left, so just encourage that patient. Help is on the way. Stay prayerful. Look to Jesus.
always speak, no matter how you might think it sounds or whatever, but always convey what you're feeling and what you're going through to your nurse. And she will find a way to help you with whatever you need help with. And God is always there. He's always around. And He hears even when you think He doesn't. And He knows even if you think He doesn't.
Yes.
But put a smile on your face at least once a day and your day goes so much easier. Like sunshine.
Like sunshine. And I just want to add one thing. I've met some pretty dynamic male nurses.
Oh,
Oh, yes. And so your brothers in the profession, they are so good, and I'm sure that they can articulate also the same thing that you have put through. Because these things are neither male nor female. These qualities are God-given. They are God-given. You cannot teach the love and compassion. We learn it, but I want to backtrack a little bit. Sometimes when someone sees love and compassion given to them so freely, they seek after it, and yes, by example, we can bring others to a new height. So, at the close of our program, Patricia, I just want to say, you are so well deserving of this acknowledgement.
thank you.
And on a personal note, I am blessed to know you. I'm blessed to know you. And if I ever need a nurse,
Call me.
coming for you. Call me. Okay, that's just about our time for this segment. Thank you so much. But for every nurse out there, and I mean this, you are so special. And every facility, no matter on every level, giving health care to people, it won't happen without you. You're a friend to the patient. You're a friend to other professionals that you work with. You're a friend to your coworker. And I believe God will smile on you. God bless you. So until next time, find a nurse. Tell he or she how much you care about them and how much you appreciate them. God bless.